Dear Executive Director of UN Habitat, Dear Executive Director of UNECE, Your Excellencies, fellow delegates, ladies and gentlemen, in October 2020, as the UN patron for cities, I launched the Forum of Mayors. Today, 19 months later, the planet has expanded by 151 million people, every day more than 250,000. And most of those are in cities. Why? Because despite the many challenges, cities offer more opportunities, wealth, innovation, liberation, education. Cities are civilization's greatest invention, and they are a conscious act of design. They start with a plan, and over time, cities evolve and change. And right now, climate change is one of those major challenges. So master plans for cities have to be updated or recreated. A master plan is about the history and heritage of a city, but it's prepared in anticipation of a sustainable future, which is unknowable. The master plan has to look decades ahead because it incorporates the physical infrastructure of mobility, sanitation, all those heavy fixes. But it's also a social manifesto for the future. It's about housing, equality, education, public space, biodiversity, agriculture, culture, health, and sport. And the master plan embodies the UN New Urban Agenda and its Sustainable Development Goals. It's one of the prime vehicles to achieve those. A master plan determines the DNA of a city. Is it compact, connected, walkable, friendly, or does it sprawl into the countryside, consuming precious land, engendering long commutes? Infrastructure is the urban glue that binds the individual buildings together. It's the public spaces, the parks, the greenery, the bridges, the subways. It determines the very quality of life in the city. It's more important than any individual building. It's about local identity, but with a global awareness. And the global awareness of climate change is with us all the time. How is it achieved? How do you make it? You need a strong local administration, a team, diverse, strong leadership, combined with independent design skills. Architects, urbanists, engineers. There is a long history of their distinguished involvement in the planning of cities. Much of a city, the master plan, is two-dimensional zoning, determining what happens where. But a city is a three-dimensional physicality. And imagine creating a model of that, a physical model, which becomes a tool not only for planning in the future, the regional planning, but involves the community, because everybody can connect with a model. So it engenders a social community involvement in the process, bottom up, a participation. The typical city expands out from a core. It has neighborhoods. And those are smaller scale opportunities for shorter term urban design exercises. And the pandemic has shone a kind of torchlight on accelerating change. We've seen the way in which cities have become more pedestrianized. That's an opportunity for tree planting, for beautification. But trees not only beautify and improve the quality of life, they absorb carbon dioxide. They counter global warming. But master planning confronts change. You could say the only constant is change, which leads to the important skills of advocacy, of diplomacy. I'd like to give you perhaps an example which was referred to earlier, the Forum of Mayors. And I was asked my advice, and I said, what if the next gathering of the mayors, that instead of reading pre-prepared speeches, they show photographically before and after photographs of positive change in the cities to the benefit of the citizens. And that happened. It's been a tremendous success, so positive, I can't tell you, and with evident pride, justifiably, on those who are presenting. I'd like to end on a note of optimism and the future. Through this forum, I was approached by the mayor of Kharkiv, which is the second city in Ukraine. It was up till 35 the first city. It's a city of culture, of industry, of high tech. And I was asked, in the midst of the bombardment, the destruction of hospitals, of housing, for my advice. And I said, what if we bring together the best minds in the world, together with the best talent, and we work with locals, with people who understand that territory, and together we can recreate the best of the past and project Kharkiv into a city of the future. And I invoked, in my conversation with the mayor, I reminded him that at the height of World War II, in the darkest hour, a plan for Greater London was commissioned about reconstruction, about growth and the future. And at the height of the pandemic, in 2020, that was updated, that same master plan, which is guiding that city, the creation of the Green Belt. With inspirational examples like that, I see the future with optimism and hope. Thank you so much.